some here so that you don't have to go out.
You know what? Let me move this couch to that side because this is a problem. Yeah, because how are we going to move? How are we going to move around?
That's what yeah, we could. Everyone. Yes. Yes. Everyone, you're off.
Not too far. You don't want to sit on that side. Just so I have space around.
Where will I see?
Nani, goeie aand and good evening. And thank you so much for joining us for another wonderful BackChat conversation. This is, of course, our July 2026 conversation, where we're diving deep into how we can keep the legacy of our former president, our former president, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, how we can keep his legacy alive. Yes, I'm alluding, of course, that 67 minutes that many of us dedicate to community service throughout the month of July, not just on the 18th, but today's conversation aims to broaden that perspective ever so slightly. Instead of seeing Nelson Mandela's legacy as a once-a-year commemoration, we want to see how can we live it out in our everyday lives. How can we take Nelson Mandela's values and turn them into principles that are going to be shaping our everyday decisions, our relationships, and even the leadership that we see and that we exhibit ourselves. Joining us, as always, of course, is the Minister of Higher Education and Training, Mr. Buti Manamela. Thank you so much for this platform that you always provide us with to showcase and share students' lived experiences and their perspective. But, Minister, I have to ask you the question that everybody is thinking about today. Do you like sweet or savory? It's a very important question. Sweet or savory?
Yeah, okay.
I know, it's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'll go with sweet.
Minister. Team Sweetie. So you prefer more sweet stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I'm a bit more on savory side, as you can already tell. But what is, of course, a BackChat conversation without the voices of the youth and the students that are going to be sharing those lived experiences with us? We've got quite a full house. And let's see, where can we kick things off? Let's kick things off with you, of course, the lady in blue right next to Minister. Let us know your name, what you are studying, and if you are Team Sweet, which is Minister, or Team Savory, which is me.
Hi guys.
Hey.
My name is Nhloboko from Ekurhuleni East TVET College. I'm a level 4 student. I'm doing electrical infrastructure and construction.
Ooh, okay.
And Joy, I choose Minister, so I choose sweet.
Okay, fine. I still have people in the room. Let's go on over to your right. No, your left. This side. Whichever this side is. Hey.
Good evening, guys.
Hello.
On the mic is Malwanda Hlongwane. I'm from Tshwane North TVET College, doing management assistant and ICT in Datacom networking, and N5 in management assistant. Okay. So, I'm sorry, I would go with the minister.
I can't believe you guys. Okay, fine, it's okay. Let me hand on over the mic to our gentleman over here. Here you are.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Thabo Sejani. I'm studying baccalaureate Ligam at the University of Johannesburg. And Minister, sorry, I have to choose Joy since we are from the same institution.
Yes, even better.
So I'm on the savory side. So
Okay.
thank you so much.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Mfundo. I'm from Ekurhuleni West TVET College. I'm studying management assistant N5. And sorry again, we are with our father there.
Wow. Okay. Unbelievable.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Ashley Kanyani, and I'm from Pretoria, TNC, representing. I'm doing hospitality level 3 this year, and I don't like sweet things, so I'm going with savory today.
Yes, I love it. Okay.
Evening, everyone. My name is Busiso Sierra. I'm a proud Gauteng City College student, the institution of choice. I'm doing plant production in a center called Nairobi CLC, and I'm very honored to be here today to engage with fellow students about the legacy of our founding father, Nelson Mandela. Thank you.
What about sweet or savory? Emma
Oh,
baby.
sorry.
Yes.
Hey, I can't decide. I'm in the middle.
It's savory. It is savory.
No, I'll go for sweet since you are saying I must go for savory.
Come on. Okay, fine.
Hi everyone,
Hello.
including the viewers there at home. I hope Larabona ne.
Replace a short.
Oh ne. Okay. I'm Charmain Mudau. I am a student from the Tshwane University of Technology, studying a bit of a tongue twister Diploma in Kinesiology and Coaching Science, and I'm doing my second year this year. And I'm sorry, it's a health to health thing, so sweet.
Yo, Hashem, the numbers of savory.
Evening, guys. My name is
Hello.
Teddy Makuba. I am from the same institution as her, Tshwane University of Technology, and I'm studying nature conservation. And today is the 31st of July. Shout out, it's World Ranger Day. Shout out to my conservationists out there.
Okay, yes.
And I would prefer savory. I'm sorry.
Yes, another one.
Hi everyone, my name is Yamtanda Mabope and I am from Guatemala CLC, which is basically under CET College, Gauteng CET.
Okay.
I am currently doing my level 4. So yeah, hectic.
Hectic.
But I'm really, really honored to be here and I would like to go for sweet.
Really?
Do it. Hey,
Guys, it's pronounced savory. Savory, okay.
Good evening, everyone. On the mic is Nhloboko. I am a proud student of the Gauteng City College, and I am an NSC student currently. And unfortunately, I have a sweet tooth. So I'll go for sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm losing Vele. Yeah.
Good evening.
Hello.
My name is Dise Zorantama and I am from Ekurhuleni East TVET College. I'm studying process plant operations, level 2, so my first year. I love me some savory.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Mbalenhle Mabasa. I am from Southwest Gauteng TVET College, and I am a marketing student. And this is my last year. Thank you.
Oh, sweet or savory?
Oh, sweet.
Savory. Oh. Okay. Last one, show me. It's savory. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Amahe Mangnele, a third year BCom accounting student from the University of the Witwatersrand. And sorry to you, Joy. I'm a sweet girl.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We've got more sweet people than savory. Please let us know if you're sweet or savory in the chats. Of course, we're streaming on YouTube as well as Facebook. So get more people part of the conversation because all of your thoughts as well as questions are going to be sent over to me. And the ones after school is after school. I'm going to try my best to get everybody, of course. Now, today's conversation is quite a fun one. It is asking us a very simple but also a very powerful question. Are you ready to hear it? Yes, yes. Oh, we have more students on this side. Hi, well, MC.
Backbenchers.
Hi, well, MC. There we go.
We have some yeah, we've got some space here.
We've got a couple of space. There's one here and there's one there.
I think girls will enter here.
Oh, the girls must enter.
Hey, what a gentleman.
Okay, we've got some new characters unlocked. Let's have you.
Come. No, there's a spot here.
There's bean bags as well. You can
Yes.
grab a bean bag and put it here.
Oh, the girls must be next to the minister. Galvana. Okay. While we're getting some more people in, let's start with you, lady. Yes.
Hi everybody, my name is Lucia Sinetemba. I'm from the University of South Africa. I'm doing international relations and this was my final semester. And I would have to go with savory.
Yay, savory! I like the new numbers. Let's put more people in, okay? We're going to pass the number over.
I was fixing the results now.
Yes.
We're losing, so we're bringing in more voters.
Yes. Just to balance the equation.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Ratolo Kate. So I'm a fourth-year student studying Bachelor of Education at the University of Witwatersrand. So I'll go with sweet.
So Chomi, you just said because they went one up, Lena Gitoya one up. Is that everybody? Have we got everyone? No, there's more on that side. We'll pass the mic over to you, sir. Yes. Dumela Rite.
Yeah, I'm Comrade Mamba from the University of South Africa, Deputy Secretary General of National SRC. I just arrived now. Apologies on that. I think Minister was going to say the University of South Africa, but it's all because but I'm happy because now my sister is there. He's going to represent the University of South Africa. Also, no.
Yeah, special for you.
I'm coming there. I'm coming there. I think my sister whether I choose in between, I enjoy what or also what, I think you've lost already.
I have.
Yeah, so let me not vote on that regard, because now I'm a fellow of a minister here. I'll go with Swiss. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, we got everybody in? Yes, great stuff. So as he comes on over to his seat and we catch him in frame, I want to tell you about the question that is the center of our conversation today. And it's one that is quite a simple question, but it's quite a powerful one at the same time. So the question goes, if Nelson Mandela left us a democratic South Africa, what kind of a South Africa is our generation leaving behind? Now, that type of a question can stir up quite a number of different ideas that marry well together, but also ideas that strongly contradict each other. And that's why I want you, and you at home, you're going to do it as well, to turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, we might disagree. That's a neighbor. Do it also at home. Neighbor, we might
Disagreement is the order of democracy.
Yes, and then you're going to say, but it's me and you against the problem together. It's me and you against the problem, right? Together, we are together. Yes, and I hope you're doing it at home as well. Don't forget to type in any questions as well as comments that you have in the chat below, or of course on X, where you can use that hashtag. It's hashtag BackChat, hashtag Legacy Lives Through Me. We've divided today's conversation into 3 primary sections, and the first one is active citizenship. One value that Mandela stood for strongly was that freedom does come with responsibility. And that responsibility is one that people tend to ignore. We tend to look at the problems and the challenges that we face as South Africa, but seldomly do we take a step back and ask, but how am I contributing to the solution? What are my responsibilities to lessen the problem? So I want to go around the room and ask our fellow students that when you think of active citizenship, how are you living it out in your day-to-day life? And I'm not asking for your theory, your life skills answer that you'd write perfectly in the exam. I want your practical lived experience. How are you living it out either on campus or in your community? Charmain, let me start with things with you. Yes, the mic is coming over to you.
Hi everyone again. Okay. I think with me it's quite common also with just being a student. We are all aware of just being at res, how you have a neighbor or even a roommate who could be struggling in some cases. But for me it's not so broad or so huge to say I have to carry the responsibility of let me help someone who's far. Just someone near, a roommate. Roommate, you assist, you aid where you can, or there's an emergency or something. You know, you come through and you help. For me, every time I look back at that, it's beautiful, it's stunning, it just soothes my soul. So that for me, it's just one key way I believe it's a massive contribution, honestly.
Thank you, Charmaine, for that. I want to hop on over to our gentleman over here. How do you go about practicing active citizenship in your day-to-day life? Our mic is coming on over to you. No worries. There we go.
Good evening, guys.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you don't need accolades to be a perfect candidate to somebody else or to be very kind. You just need to be conversational, open, and be very helpful to somebody who's next to you, even if that person is quite far, just like she said. So it's quite profound that being kind in this generation is quite rare. However, if maybe we can be open to one another, we can be able to help even the environment that we're within. So it's quite outgrowing that we can be some youth that can grow even better, even let's say we're going even better from the generation that
Before
passed.
us,
Yes.
yeah.
So it's quite beautiful to know that we are growing to be even more greater youth than before.
And it's quite important what you're saying in this day and age where mental health is such a strong challenge for many people. How just a simple conversation, chomi oshapu, and just opening up that table or that platform for someone to actually share their thoughts. I think there's a Mbalentle somewhere there. Is Mbalentle? Yes, I got you. What about you, Mbalentle? How do you practice active citizenship in your day-to-day life? The mic is coming over to you. Okay. We're passing it on to you over there. All right, there we go.
Thanks, Joy. How do I practice it? I think also, like my peers had said, being kind. Also, Ubuntu, like having Ubuntu in your day-to-day lifestyle. Being, so basically, having Ubuntu, being kind, unity as well, and just being there for your peers is very important. So that's, my comments.
I like that. Thanks. You know, when I was younger, my mom often taught me you should greet people. Just greet people. It's free, it costs you nothing. You just greet people. And I find that I'll pass someone, I'll greet like, Dumela, and they'll turn, Dumela? And they'll look at you like, yeah, what you want? No, I'm not ready. No, I don't want also. Already in jail. So as soon as you just greet someone, it also almost changes their perspective to be like, oh, Konje, we greet in this country. We have that human connection and that Ubuntu, you know. It makes me think your answers around the room so far make me think, Minister, that a lot of times I think our youth perhaps associate being an active citizen with legal responsibilities like voting and those types of things. How do we shift the mindset of students for them to realize that it's actually an everyday practice?
Yeah, I think it's a balance to both, and maybe it's, it's a spectrum. If you think about being kind, if you think about being nice to strangers, Ubuntu, on the one hand, but also with taking up responsibility in terms of the future of the country by participating in, in elections, for instance, and also, actively, not just by voting, but also by availing ourselves. But even outside of, elections, there's a whole lot of responsibilities that we have as citizens, which sometimes we extend to the state, or to other people. Is the environment where I'm in, is it clean, for instance? Those very simple tasks that affirms our active citizenry. So it's about what we do, which may not necessarily be translated into action, but which is important to be kind and so on. And then it's about our activism, ensuring that we care for the elderly, and all of those things. And then it's the activism in the form of what we do, our clean environment and so on. So I think it's a combination of things about how do we take the legacy of Nelson Mandela forward.
I like what you said there of how we tend to perhaps extend the responsibilities we have over and extend it a bit more to the state, It makes me think of kind of our responsibility to volunteering. When's the last time you volunteered, Chomi? I won't lie, it was literally this past week. And it was because Mandela.
Yesterday.
Yes, truck it, Chomi. Let's all truck it for a clock. Yes, okay. But before that, Chomi, when did you volunteer the last time?
The last time I volunteered yesterday.
Okay, fair enough. But it gets you thinking and wondering, do I actually sit down and say, in this month, let me look for something to go and give my time to go and see how I can help. And it's interesting how this day and age you can volunteer in different things. I was passing by at a charity store and they were saying looking for a volunteer content creator. And I was like, oh, y'all take content creators like volunteering. So it's also things that are within our wheelhouse in this day and age. It's not necessarily the things we're normally used to, but there's also things for us to do within our interests but we're still giving of our time, you know? And it also got me wondering, we tend to identify a lot more problems, and it got me thinking, and I want to hear from you guys in the room, what are some problems you're often hearing students bellowing at the top of their lungs about, but what responsibility do they play within that problem to bring about the solution? I'm going to start with you here, sir.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a very impactful and powerful discussion in terms of active citizenship, and also, as you are mentioning, the various problems which students are lamenting, but they can also help by being active citizens within their campuses or centers or institutions. You know, some such things such as an unclean environment, as the minister had mentioned, that there are some things which we expect the state to do when we can use it via our responsibility to actually address. So these kind of challenges or problems can be addressed from the perspectives of the students if they are actively participants in cleaning up campaigns, or even as we are in a country that is besieged with the issue of gender-based violence, there are issues which we can, as students amongst ourselves, can lead dialogues in helping each other understand the gravity or the crisis state that GBV has reached before asking the state to intervene. Us amongst ourselves, we can teach each other, we can speak on the issue, we can do awareness. Also the issue of mental health. It is within our wheelhouse. We can actually, through active citizenship or as peer mentors, whatever it is, as students within our campuses, centers, we can play an active role in doing awareness, in being there for each other. You mentioned the issue of kindness, and that's a very powerful point, because you never know where someone's state they are at a breaking point. So being kind or cleaning up your campus, your center, or even holding dialogues, these are things that within ourselves we can help change before expecting the state to address. Then there are things which we can expect the state to address, and that's when we hold our leaders in power accountable to address those things. But those things that are within our wheelhouse, we can be active citizens by engaging with each other, by being active in our communities, active in our centers, in our campuses. So it's a very powerful concept of being an active citizen. Don't just be a spectator, but be part of the solution. And when it's above you, hold those in power accountable. But those things you cannot change, you must actively pursue them and address them. That's what I'm taking from that.
Yeah, so actually trying first, and then once we have tried and we've seen we've reached our capacity, then we then seek help externally, you know. What you're mentioning, the conversation, like just having conversation. I have a question as a girl. Do gents just talk about like GBV? Do you guys have conversations around it? I know as girls we're always like, yo, Charmain, are you really okay? Is he treating you well? It's like one of the first questions you ask your friend when she's like, so there's this guy. The first question is, how does he treat you, Charmain? But as gents, do you guys have the conversation amongst yourselves, amongst your friend groups?
Can I please answer this?
Yes.
It's
like you were waiting
for
that question.
Me, pick me.
No, the reason why I want to speak on this is because something happened, in my community, and it got me thinking.
Yeah.
So I was back during a program I'm doing, and a colleague or a fellow student of mine mentioned a case of GBV. Someone had a woman had been murdered, a young girl had been murdered by the partner. And obviously, when we were conversating, it touched me. But, normally what tends to happen when we hear this, we are so desensitized on the issue of GBV that we just don't think about it that much. So that conversation went. And then 2 days later, I'm on social media. I'm scrolling and I come across a post speaking about a GBV case. And when I see the post, I see on the poster, and my heart just sank. I saw a young girl, which I was in my center, who were actually in the same class. So, and immediately that came to my mind that this is the case that my colleague was discussing. And at that moment, I just sank. I don't know, the very first time I felt overwhelmed by shock. I was so overwhelmed that, my heart literally broke. So it was something that made me think that when I didn't know her, that I didn't know the person involved in the case, I did feel something, but I was not touched to that extent. But when I realized that it's someone who was in my same class, we were interacting, that's when it touched me. So there is this concept that when we hear GBV stories, we read the stats, we are so desensitized to a state where, because we are not directly involved, we just put it at the back of our mind. But the moment it comes to your doorstep, the moment it comes to your community, you feel so impacted. You feel that overwhelming state of anguish and anger? What about, even though you don't know the person, but why can't we feel that anger? Why can't we feel overwhelmed each time GBV is mentioned? And I think that shaped my perspective. And from now on, that's why I'm really, this issue, even though it's been declared a national crisis, but I think if individually, whether from male or men, students, or community members, but if you would view GBV that it is my sister, it's my mother, someone close to me, let's not be desensitized, but let's see the human behind those stories. Let's see the victims and actually feel it. So I think for me, it opened my mind that, you know, when it's not someone you know, you can take it as something that happens in South Africa, but once it touches you, that's when you feel that this is a crisis that must be resolved. And I think that is not okay. We must always feel that this is a crisis. It is your sister, it is your mother, it doesn't matter who it is, a stranger, but you must feel that anguish. I think moving forward, that's the kind of dialogue I want to have. That gens, or wherever you are, when it comes to GBV, feel it as if it was your own sister, your own daughter, your own mother. And I think we can tackle this crisis. And it will start with us, having dialogues, being active citizens, actually addressing these things. When we see these issues that are happening in our communities, we must speak up. And sorry to take time, but also in this case, when we went to the funeral, there were men who were speaking on this case as if that she was at fault for this thing happening to her. So this is the mindset we have in communities, but that can only change if we ourselves start the dialogues, if we ourselves would transform minds and actually tell people that this is a crisis. We must all be actively participants in addressing it. It's not just a stranger, it's not just anyone, it's all of us. And if we can collectively address it, I think we can actually resolve this issue of GBV.
Yeah, thank you for that. Just a reminder, you know, of it's someone you know, even though you don't actually know them. It was a lived person. They occupied space. They breathed air. They had goals. They had dreams. They had ambitions. They were working towards something. I then wonder, how do we start the conversation, or gents, how do you go about starting the conversation amongst yourselves? I think that's also, it ties really well with being an active citizen. I think it's something challenging to go about. I know I tried to have the conversation with a friend of mine when I suspected something, and you don't know where to start. You're like, do I start with, is he treating you well? And she's like, yeah, you know, what's up? But like, how do you get into the nitty-gritty of it? It's tough, but you just address it as it is, you know, like, just bite the bullet. Is he hitting you? Are you comfortable around him? When you get angry, like as a gent, when you get angry, like what do you do? And I think having those conversations is a way to connect again with active citizenship, how we practice it. As we mentioned earlier, just someone asking the question, opening up the platform for it, is a great way to use that platform to build and to make use of your active citizenship, you know? I think this relates very well to our second theme area, which is small steps equal big change. We take small steps, but they can result in very big, very drastic changes. What are some small steps you are taking today in your day-to-day life where you are seeing the ripple effects of it, or you see the ripple effects of it coming to fruition? Or perhaps someone did something for you and you're seeing the ripple effects of it, the change it is causing, even though it was something so small. Can I kick things off with you on this side? Yes, sir.
Secretary.
Khozo.
Ayati.
Ayati. Yeah, thank you very much. As I've said, I'm a member from the University of South Africa, the newly elected DSG. So I want to come to my brother and my sister also there. Whenever you are speaking with the issue of GBV, the question of big step, small step, big steps, I'll come to it. Whenever you are speaking to a GBV, it's a serious issue that we're facing in the country. Especially, Minister, in rural areas, we're facing that thing in serious numbers. So what's happening, young people of South Africa and young people of Gauteng in particular? I think we must shy away and we must stop being motivational speakers. We must deal with the serious issues on our hands. I think the generation of this must fall until our generation. We are just suggesting. There's literally nothing that we are doing. Actually, let me say, there's literally nothing that you are doing as young people, because I'm not involved in that numbers of the years, because I'm the first, I think, student leader, my sister, from the University of South Africa, Tshwane University of Technology, TNC. We're busy dealing with the case in TNC. Last week we were dealing with the case in TVET, main campus, Pretoria campus. Last year we were dealing with the case in University of Pretoria. We even had a situation where we took ourselves, our bodies, as the shields of struggle. We went to shut down this club in Hatfield called Zanzu, because some activities of GPV, they were taking place there. So I think young people, let's stop sitting on couches. Hence, Minister, when I came here, I even
couches.
You know, dean of students,
That's
you are
what we
saying,
found
worry,
here.
I'm going to sit around the fire, I'm going to speak like, or there's a full of young people, I'm going to say, oh, he said, no, ma'am, but when you arrive there, don't be political, because I know, Karbata, you're wasting my time. I must go to school, there's a funeral and a wedding. I was going to attend. So I'll just go there, sit down with the young people, engage. So I'm not going to comment that much on it. Young people, let's stop being cowards. Whenever we're having serious situation of GPV, and you know, even our sisters, our mothers, they are being abused in our present, as usually male comrades. Let's stand up and fight this thing. If then you have to stand up and fight your father with words or physically, let it be. Because we can't be sitting down watching perpetrators running away with this thing now and then. In our races, fortunately, my side hustle, I'm a race manager. So there's a female student who came to me, it's a first year student from Rosebank. Said, Mamba, I'm having a situation, like when these guys, they're from alcohol in Netfield, they knock at my door. So I just woke up, my guy, stop this thing, or else I'm going to murder you. Wow. So I think young people, let's stop being motivational speakers. Let's stop doing that thing. That thing is going to kill our sisters. Also, let's make sure that we love our girlfriends. But if they're misbehaving, just find another girlfriend next door. Anyway, I think I lost. I think I lost my phone, but we're going to resolve this issue. I think I lost my phone here, just there. But I think if my sister can buzz my phone, I'll know where's my phone. Can you buzz my phone, my sister?
I see. She
Okay, sorry, thank you very much.
But what you said there relates very well with the small steps equal big change. Standing up, no longer being just a motivational speaker.
Yeah, no. I was actually answering.
Yes,
I was responding to my brother.
Yeah.
For him to stop being a motivational, he must stand up as a man. Also, I was answering your question. My sister, can you please pass my phone, please, ma'am?
I think, though, what he's saying, though, still opens up a platform to have the conversation. I think it's also a small step that also creates a big effect. Having conversations about it isn't, although he might be passionate, you might think, yes, he's a motivational speaker, but I think what he points out also is valid, that let's have conversations around it, but also to your point, let's also stand up and take action. It relates to those small steps that lead to big change. And that's where I want us to go into, because one of the things that Nelson Mandela stood for is perseverance. And so that small step is going to need a lot of perseverance from your side. So I want to know from you on a day-to-day basis, how are you practicing that value that Mandela held so dear to him of perseverance to do those small steps that are going to lead to big change? We have two new students coming in, and I just want to acknowledge them before we continue further. We've got a gentleman over here. You're just going to let us know your name, what you're studying, and if you're team sweet or savory. And savory food is good.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fuzile Dwacha. I am from the University of Johannesburg, and I'm doing a PhD in sociology.
Okay. And sweet or savory?
Savory.
Yes! There we go. Okay, awesome. We've got a gentleman here also as well. Your name, what you I think we'll just pass the mic over to you. Your name, what you're passing, or rather what you're studying, and sweet or savory.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bonso Princess Kakane. I am a PhD student doing sociology. Sweet.
Okay, so your team minister, sweet, it's our joke now. Team minister is winning because he's sweet. And I'm savory. I don't know. I think everyone's just picking Team Minister. So I think, do you want to change your decision, maybe? Oh, you're fine. Oh, okay. It's and you're fine at savory. You're fine at savory. Great stuff. So that's just to give you a quick summary of where we are currently. We're looking at how we can live out the values of Nelson Mandela in our day-to-day lives. Instead of it being 67 minutes once off every year, let's live it in our day-to-day lives. And we're currently focusing on his value of perseverance and those small steps that you take today that can create a big change tomorrow. And I want to know, what are some of those small steps that you're taking today that are going to create a big change tomorrow? Thabo, I want to jump on over to you and for you to let me know. I think you have a mic that's hooked onto you, so you're good. Let's just test it. You can just say something for us. Okay, pass him the handout and then we'll just work with technical. What are some small steps you're taking, Thabo, that are leading to those big changes?
Okay, yes, thank you so much, Joy. This is such I think a very relevant question, especially when we look at our role as the youth. What are we doing? And I would argue that first and foremost, it starts with us. In terms of like being disciplined, in terms of being principled, in terms of being optimistic. So sometimes we don't have to wait for example, policies for us to be or to behave in a certain manner. So it starts with our behavior. And another point that I would like to put across is the importance of seeking information. Because for you to do something that would have a future impact, you have to be informed about what you want to change in the future. Right? So finding information, don't wait for people or for particular institutions to say, but they are gatekeeping. But the question would be, have you taken any steps to ensure that at least you bring into light or you bring into life whatever future objectives you want to achieve? And practically, because I know that the question was mainly grounded on practical activities that we do in our daily life. So part of what I'm doing, I'm a part of a NGO called Blind SA.
Okay.
So it's a large NGO for blind and print disabled persons. So usually you touched on volunteering. So we don't get paid. So essentially we volunteer. We comment on a certain policy reforms. So I believe that whatever we are doing now, whatever thoughts we are penning there, they are going to have a better and they are going to enrich the lives of those who are coming after us. Because, I mean, it's about being proactive, and it's about having that willingness to change the dimension without expecting anything in return. So yeah, that's what I'm doing practically insofar as taking small steps. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and I think that requires a lot of perseverance coming through from your side, which is one of the values that Nelson Mandela holds dear. And those small steps lead to such big changes. I'm going to ask you to pass the mic over to your right. I want to head on over to Nhloboko and ask you, what are some small steps that you're taking that are leading to those big changes, or that you foresee some big changes?
Oh, hi again.
Hello.
Well, I'm a super user. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, what's a super user? A super, like,
I'm
on your
right
phone
when
a
someone
lot.
says they're a user, and
Oh,
then Mobile says, I'm a super user.
A super user is a civic and soft skill graduate. Then, okay, I graduated
Civic
2024.
and soft skill
graduate.
Okay.
I graduated 2024. So
Okay.
after that, I was helping those who are still doing the course.
Okay, okay.
So I think Okay.
It's okay. No, take your time. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay, on that course name, it's an online course name.
Okay.
So usually you'll find that we have 40 students name and maybe 2 moderators. Yabo. So we do help. We come as super users. We help where we can, and it cause to be fast for those students to finish it fast.
And you kind of sharing with them your struggles and what your
what I
challenges.
did for me to finish it fast
Yes.
and what they can do.
Yes,
It's
it
something
helps
like
bring
that.
them along, and those are the small steps you're taking that lead to big change. Also, again, relating to our previous topic, and you can see how they're intertwined, she's practicing citizenship, where she's going back to the place that enriched her to go and enrich others as well. That's absolutely amazing. That's beautiful. I want to hop on over to this side. Our lady just next to, yes, our comrade, yes. Where's the mic? Oh, you've got the mic. Okay, great. What are some small steps you're taking that's leading to those big changes?
I think I will go back to the first point that we discussed. My small step that I'm taking is being respectful. It is very important that we practice respect not only to our mothers and our fathers, but also to all the people that we meet outside. You did say that your mom taught you to greet people.
Yeah.
That is a small step that you take, because you are showing people that life is not just about going about it or helping people when they need it, but it's also about being respectful. Greet someone. You know, I had an experience this morning when I came here, and I said to my driver, "Thank you so much for the ride, and I hope you have a good day." And he said, "Never in my life of being a driver has someone left this car and said to me, 'Have a good day.'"
Wow.
That is a small step. It doesn't have to be necessarily something that is practical, but it can also be something that is sentimental, because we must also understand that we are living in a world where we don't know the things that people go through behind closed doors. And you could be the refuge that they're looking for. You could be that brightness in their day that they were looking for. And I also think another small step that I am taking is, I live in a community where there's a lot of elderly people. So it's very important that we practice helping our elderly people. If you know that there's a grandmother next door that has to go to the clinic next month and she can't walk, the least you could do is to offer and say, "I'll go and collect it for you." So I think those are the small steps that as youth we need to practice. The generations that come before us, those are things that are engraved in them because they grew up like that. With us, we've lost touch with it. So it's very important that we don't only practice small steps practically, but we also look at it in the small things that we are able to do. You don't have to pop out money out of your pocket. You just need to use the goodness of your heart. And I think that is my small step that is bringing big change in my community.
I love that. That's very beautiful. I want to hop on over to you, Minister, but just before, I want to share something Kailo said on Facebook. Kailo is saying, "Mandela's generation handed us political freedom, the right to vote, equal rights under the law, and a world-class constitution. Our generation's mission is to deliver functional communities by building working local institutions, creating real economic opportunities, and stepping up as active citizens to ensure those constitutional promises actually improve everyday life." Thank you so much, Kailo, for your contribution. I think that was very impactful. Minister, like I said, I want to hop on over to you. I think I'm sure we share the sentiment where when we go to friends and we say, "Let's start this, let's try this," the bounce back is often "Mararitu, chomi." It's just me and you, or Kiwan, or maybe they're sharing an idea with you, and you're like, "You should do that, you should totally try that," and it's always, "But I'm alone." How can we start changing that mindset? What can we say to our friends to really start bringing up the change that Comrade was also speaking about, that step up to the plate and practice your active citizenship actually in practice and not just in theory?
Yeah. I suppose the question belongs here. I mean, how do we, in in our own little way. Firstly, conscious of whatever that we want to change, act on it, but also mobilize other people to be part of that. So I think it's probably a conversation that belongs here. But I think the other important thing is that we have, to our exposure, technologies that Mandela never had. He didn't have Facebook and Twitter. I can imagine, him tweeting.
Hashtag we are meeting at the corner.
Hashtag we meeting at the border or something like that. But so we have those as tools, where we can, voice our concern or start a campaign, or do something, an initiative where we can mobilize others to contribute into, but also use those platforms, constructively to take forward that legacies. The person you read their contribution on Facebook says, Mandela and his generation brought us political freedom. And I'm sure if I can, just throw it back here, we would all agree that that political freedom is still in construction. It's a continuous project of construction and reconstruction and rethinking. And as we're confronted with new challenges, we sometimes think back and say, maybe at that time things could have been done differently. But what I'm also, I think, appreciating with the conversations that are happening even here is that not only do we want to be stuck in that past, but we also want to define what our responsibilities are, in that continuous project of building, of political freedoms. Now. And as I also suppose the key thing is, continuing that in small spaces where we're in. I've now been, inducted into, what's referred to as systems thinking. It's the fact that the actions of one has an influence on the actions of others, and that whatever that we may pursue as individuals, whether we are aware of it or not, has consequences on the objectives of others. And so, if we're conscious of that, Mandela's fellow celebrated leader Gandhi says, "Be the change that you want to be." So that you want to see. Yes. And I think it speaks to that. What becomes our role as citizens, as students, as members of a community, in our campuses, and within the ecosystem and communities where we exist, and what role and what impact do we each of us want to play
and actually see. I like what you said, the Minister. I think it relates very perfectly to our third theme, which is leadership without a title, and pursuing that before you even get to the title, for the benefit of those around you as well as yourself. We're not waiting for the title. And now I'm wondering, how are we doing that in our everyday lives? I want to start with you, please, ma'am. What are you doing that is showcasing your leadership skills despite you not having a title? Do you have a title? And walk us through it, please.
Okay, so I come from a community where higher education is a very rare thing. I'm one of many students who got the privilege to actually come to university. And my observation from the community that I come from is the fact that a lot of students actually want to become something in life. they have the ambition, not that they lack the ambition, it's just the lack of exposure and the lack of knowledge. So my role in that is I try to help young people with university applications. I also offer tutoring for free to other students, just so that I can bridge that gap between basically showing them that there is more to life than just you. Like, now you're done with high school. After you're done with high school, all that is left for you to do is go look for a job, because that is how the environment that they grew up in is structured. And that's the thing that I'm trying to like actually change in a way. And me living it, because I feel like it's easy for you to say, okay, we have the internet, you see something on the internet. It doesn't provide that motivation or that influence that a person who you know, someone who is closer to you, can provide. So I'm trying to be that version so that I can influence and motivate other people from my community and show them that life outside these walls that you guys are used to is possible. And that's what I do.
Wow, I love that. You're being the change that you want to see. I want to hop on over to Teddy. What about yourself? What are some things that you're doing in your day-to-day life that is you being a leader without the title, being that change?
Okay, so one misconception you might have about leaders is that we think that a leader is one person with many people. You can be a leader without a crowd. It's very much possible, I assure you. So in my university, Tshwane University of Technology, I'm a peer educator as well. So what we do is that we also do rest interventions where we hand out, let's be honest, we're adults. Okay, so we hand out condoms as well for students free.
Let's all be adults.
We're adults.
I was like, where am I?
But we
I'm
hand
not
out.
used to hanging out with people and say, let's all be adults.
Let's be adults.
We assume we've
He's
all
a
been
super
adults
adult.
for okay, all right, okay.
But we go around handing out condoms and free pads for girls who, need them. We do this thing today, even at our residence at Tshwane University of Technology, on-campus residents, our peer educators were there. And so what I do specifically as a peer educator, sometimes I can go up and you speak to the gents in relation to men's mental health, issues relating to circumcision, things that the gents don't get exposure to. Because in reality, there's a lot of things that we don't get exposure to. And it's not because we don't know it. It's just that you've never heard of it, And now we have people who come from villages. I also come from a village in Ramasemol. You come here in varsity, you don't really know the varsity life. You get exposed to a lot of different things and you start going into the bad life of varsity. So we try to educate them and direct them in the correct way. We're not saying don't drink or don't smoke or whatever. It's your choice at the end of the day. But we just want to make you aware of the negative effects of doing such things. So that's part of the things that I do. As I mentioned, we do rest interventions and all of that. Last week was men's mental health. We're also making posts about them. So we try as much as we can to make students at Tshwane University of Technology aware of such things so that they can change their behavior. And again, another thing that I do as a small active participation is that training. A lot of men are suffering from mental health and they don't even know what they're suffering from. And then I have this thing where depression hates a moving target. So I have this thing where whenever I go training, there's usually a friend, one or two, that I like to tell them to, like, hey man, let's go to the gym, let's do this and that. That small time, that small 1 hour, 2 hours you're gonna spend with them in the gym, you don't know that you could have been saving them from a lot of overthinking. They might be going through whatever they're going through alone. Obviously, they won't tell, because men, it's something that we are faced with, which is we don't really like talking about our feelings. And that's wrong. That's incredibly wrong. You're a human being. You have feelings too. You're gonna experience certain things that aren't pleasant. You have to speak about them. But for them, some generally do want to talk about it, but it's just hard because you've been living for 20 years without speaking about such things, and now 21, Teddy's here forcing you, come on, speak up. It's not gonna work. But if you advise them, okay, do this and that, go to the gym, have a healthy lifestyle, that way it can be a way for you to deal with certain issues. So that's my little active participation that I like to do.
Thank you for that.
Good.
Pass the mic on over to your left, please. I want to go to our lady and ask her, there's a mic right there next to you. What are some things that you're doing where you are showcasing your leadership skills despite not having the title?
What I do is
create a safe space for people to talk. I think also acting is important, yes, but talking about things is just as important because sometimes we just want to voice out. It is the voices that...
Just bring it a bit closer to you, please, there, dear.
Okay, sorry.
There we go, yes.
Before the actions, it was the voices that arose first, then actions after. So just creating that safe space where people can actually come. Conversations like these are wonderful. That give youth a different perspective. That give the youth a different perspective on things and give the youth hope. So I think just creating safe space where people can gather, talk, and give them hope for a better future. Yeah.
I wonder, and I would like to throw the question out to the room, do you think the youth is waiting to get a title, waiting to get the support, waiting to get the resources to take leadership actions? And I want to kick things off with you over there, sir. Do you think they're waiting for a title to take on some initiative, to practice leadership?
Okay, I don't think I'll give a straight answer, but I'll say it's multifaceted. You can see parts of it where young people do take action. Just like Teddy over there, I am a peer educator and I've been one for the past 7 years now.
Wow.
So at the university, the joke amongst peer educators is I am now the actual ancestor. So everything that they need, referring to peer education, they're like, oh no, don't worry, the ancestor's here. He knows.
Yes, he knows, for sure.
So you even see it among students, how some will take initiative and some will wait for you to reach out to them for them to take initiative. So, which is why I'll say it's multifaceted in terms of, we also have the role of social media now where you see this growing need for instant gratification. That if people don't recognize what I'm doing right now, that means I'm not doing anything. It's like, sometimes it's just, someone will notice. It may not be the tens of thousands of people that you want those eyes from, or that you are expecting eyes from, but it could just be 10 people, and that is more than enough most of the time. So I would say that there are young people doing work, but then we also need to take into consideration that there is a growing, this growing feeling of instant gratification where now we want to have that immediate acknowledgement for any little actions that we are taking going forward, without really, I would say that even building anything sustainable, like, oh, I'll do something, 67 minutes, I'm going to post on social media, okay, and? 5 likes, now you're done with it. Yeah. So, yeah. I want to hop on over to the gentleman right next to me. From your perspective, do you think the youth is waiting for the resources, the people, before they take on initiative? They're waiting for the title? What's your point of view?
Okay, good evening again. I do believe that we as the youth, we are blessed with each and every resource that we will ever need. Because look at the government, it's giving us free education. We even have the civic soft skill. We even have the civic soft skill programs. And then I believe those who don't want to take part are the ones who don't want to take part because of, like, these things are here, these things are for us. Okay, so I come back from a country whereby young girls are drinking, young men, you're gonna find them hanging out komakuleng. Mara, there are such like bursaries on level NS5 telling hore bona diaba dumella for them, like hore diba ise skolong. And then you find someone like me who's not even funded, but then walwa for ISKolo, like fighting for themselves. So I believe they just don't want to fight hard to get what they want, or to be seen, or to be noticed. So what I'm going to say today to the youth, each and every resource that's given it to you, use it to the best of your abilities. Someone might be looking at me live, Armara, how did he get here? 11 Peter got the soft skills program, higher health. I did go and I did attend and I got noticed, and now I'm having this platform because of what I never said no. I used each and every resource that came my way. And then I've always been a fighter for greater things. So as I've said, I'm I'm a student. I don't even have funding. But I wake up every day with the little that I have, and I show up because of that's what I have at the moment. And then I'm gonna use it until ke fitla ko e leng hore nna ke ya ko teng. And before ke pass up mic or anything, guys, please stop littering. It's not cute. It's
Yeah.
not okay.
It's not cute.
Not cute.
So
Not
each and-
at all.
Each and every time, what I do is, if I have a plastic or a paper, ke lokela ka mo plastic bagging. And sometimes I do forget, and go ke nna Valman style. How na motlakas how na eng guys ke pele ke tsela tse di thomang. You'd find ke ka mo taxing on all the Tshwane in my bag because of ke lebetse ho latla plastic ela mabane. Trust me, I go in tsaka latla ka le festere. I'm gonna have like for like taxi EM then ke latla ka mo dustbining. So guys, if you do that and then o ruta le ngwana go heno, o tlo ruta le ngwana o mongwe go tseleng, ra rutana, and then ra ba South Africa yo tlhoka global warming or raba lefatshe la tlhoka global warming. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for practicing your active citizenship, campaigning for littering. We must stop littering. I want to hop on over to the gentleman. Could you just pass it on over to your right? Keep passing it on. And ask you from your perspective, do you think the youth is waiting for the title before they actually take on leadership roles?
I think...
It's on. We've got you.
I think the youth is... I don't know.
We can hear you, yes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do I start?
So many things to say.
So many. In my previous experience, working with young people from universities, working with young people in cold communities. Cold communities, my voice will shake.
It's okay.
My voice will shake.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
So working with different young people from different communities in Mpumalanga, it was Emalahleni, it was Clarinet, it was Kwakuka. All of them, they were ready to take up the chances on working in solar industries. So what's currently happening in Mpumalanga, I'm sure the minister knows, is the just energy transition. So the just energy transition is saying that we are moving away from the use of fossil fuels to cleaner alternatives.
Oh, okay.
So when we went there in search of those green jobs, we actually found that young people were actually ready to take up the chances to say, train me, show me how to install solars, show me how
Tumamina.
Tumamina. But the problem was trade unions, hey, they're going to come for me. Trade unions, they were a bit hesitant on letting people know about the possible opportunities that will come from the just energy transition. So what we actually found was that most people are ready because when you're unemployed as a guy or as a lady, you find it very hard to maintain yourself in terms of buying yourself toiletries, going out with friends, Gadi Fridays, even proposing relationships as a guy, because Batlori, I want to go to McD's, you know, Sibawele Burger, and and you also want to provide. And you also want to provide, but you can't.
Daughter must.
It also links to GPV, actually. The daughter must can make it to GPV. So expectations, I give you something, you have to give me something back. Okay, let's not go there. Back to young people, I think they are ready. I think they are ready. The problem is, let me say this. So what we found was that the just energy transition is already on the ground. It's already moving, but the people that are found to be stakeholders in the mining companies, they are the ones that are preventing young people from participating in the JGPT, because they feel as if mining companies are to lose, profit, they will also lose profit, but they are also leaving this huge gap of young people who are unemployed, and the just transition can occupy
fill that gap.
1.2 million jobs, even more. It can for not only just young people, but for also people who have those skills. But what we found is people are ready, but they don't know where to go, because there's this thing of nepotism where people say, I'm only going to hire people that I know, I'm only going to share even this information with the people that I know. So what I actually found is that people are ready. They are ready, they just need that push. And then, I'm sorry, but when I got in here, I heard you guys, we talk about GPV, and I've working with young men also in my master's dissertation, what I actually found is that it's very important to also look at the perpetrators of GPV. Also look at how young black boys are raised in our townships, in our rural areas, in our urban culture. Look at what are we teaching them about being men. I'm sorry to say this, but being raised by, certain people, they will teach you that as a boy you should not cry for toys, you should not, you should reject certain emotions within yourself from a very young age. You get to puberty, you get to 14, 15, now you have to build a relationship with women and you do not know how because you're so used to, I must not react this way, I must not react this way. I go thing on Fridays, I tell them because it's a safe space, no one's gonna judge me, she's treating me like this, she's treating me like this. And the boys are saying, oh, well, do this and do that. When I go and try those things, thinking I'm navigating lirato, I'm navigating a relationship, I found now I'm a perpetrator of violence. So you find that most people, they do regret using violence. It's towards their partners, because I also worked on a project on intimate partner violence, which is why I'm saying that there's a very complicated relationship between violence and love, especially among black men. Because some of us were raised, being slapped, saying, why you did not do your dishes, why you did not do your homework, and then
So looking at both sides of the coin.
It's very important to always look at the both sides of the coins, because if my girlfriend gets missing, 9 out of 10 it's me. I don't know if you watch Skim Sam, but there's a character that was blamed for killing their spouse, but the spouse was not killed it. She was kidnapped. So I'm saying that we should avoid labeling black men as violent people or as sexual predators or as people who are unable to regulate their emotions. Like, it's very important that when we're in public spaces, we acknowledge that men are capable of regulating their own emotions, and some things that some others do, it's literally their personal choices. It doesn't mean that everyone is to do it. Just to end it off, I think most young people are capable. They're just waiting for the right opportunity. There's too much corruption in this country, so we're just waiting for the right opportunity.
Thank you so much for that contribution. It makes me think about like the integrity that is held within corporations and companies, and I guess it gets you wondering and thinking, as a value that Nelson Mandela stood for, which is doing what you're supposed to do, and even though when no one is watching. It gets me wondering, especially since we're saying within this conversation at least, that things like kindness and just greeting our community has become, or the youth has become, very desensitized to it. What about things as important as integrity? Is integrity still valued amongst young people? And I want to kick things off from your perspective. Do the youth do what they're supposed to when they're supposed to do it without anyone watching or telling them or reminding them? Is integrity still valued?
First and foremost, thank you for the platform. Can I please start with something?
Okay.
Yes. I'm looking at that flag right there, the pull-up.
Oh, the pull-up banner.
Yes. And I am so honored to see LGBTQIA plus community members as part of the higher health program, knowing very well that I am also part of the LGBTQIA plus community. And I also believe in, if you are gay, you are proud. Being gay doesn't mean that you are disgusting, which is also something that we also have to try and teach our fellow students within our campuses, because we go through a lot. As students, we go through a lot within our campuses, not only just our campus, but within our communities. More especially knowing very well that I'm gay and I want to use the bathroom. But because of the fact that I'm scared, because it's written male and not what I am. So it's also something that I would like for us to also implement during, or rather, as a way of celebrating Nelson Mandela. Teaching each other diversity, teaching each other accepting one another. So integrity, it's something that we have to try, by all means, try and implement it within us. Because now we do things, but we do not want to take full accountability on. Which is something that we struggle a lot with. I come from an institution which is CET College, it gives you a second chance of learning. It gives you a second chance in life. I am where I am today because of CET College. And a lot happened within my life. And I had given up on everything to a point where as now I saw myself drowning. But one girl came to me, and she's also within the institution. She said to me that there is a platform that you can go to, and it is CET College. They give you a second chance in life. And I am proud to say that. And I am also proud to also recommend, as part of being, or rather as part of promoting wellness within the whole sector of Nelson Mandela. I want to promote to people and tell them there are institutions within your communities that you can try and look into, that you can try and maybe give yourself some hope. Take your papers, your certified documents, go and apply, and try getting a second chance in life. It's never too late. It's never too late for you to thrive and be where you are today. It's never too late to highlight yourself. I always say that each and every opportunity, grab it with both hands. So it also goes well with integrity. I'm really honored, Mr. Manamela, to be in front of you right now. And I would like to say, I want to thank Higher Health as a peer educator. It's something that I'm promoting within my institution, CET College, right? Back to what my fellow sir said when it comes to educating men. I'm really sorry if I'm taking time. I'm really sorry, but and then I'm gonna. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, my good sir, you said something about men, especially the GPV part, the GPV topic. Such a huge highlight, such a viral topic that we go through. It's a thing that we live through. It is in our neighbors, it is in our schools, it is in our workplaces. It's hectic. And you know, I promote sports, not only just in my college, but also in my community. So I like engaging with young boys. Try and show them, teach them ways. Because now remember, we go through a lot, mental health. We go through a lot. We tend to lose hope to a point where as now we want to use substance. We want to start using substances as a way, or rather as a breakthrough towards whatever we're going through. So me promoting sports for my fellow young boys, girls, lesbians, gays, transgenders, anyone is welcomed to come. It's me trying to give them something that they can use, or rather something that can distract them from each and every single toxic thing that they go through in life. And men go through a lot. Yay, Batu. That is something that we do not say. I'm not saying basati no,
but acknowledging also.
Men go through a lot, and they have such a huge responsibility on their shoulders. Having to carry a full-on household on your own as a man, knowing very well that you have to make sure that food is placed on the table, that your school, I mean your kids are fully educated, that there is a lot that they go through and they cannot vent out. So me creating that, promoting that sport team, it's me trying to give them a platform that they can, where they can vent out whatever they are going through. I might not want to. Thank you.
Just, I mean, you said something important, which I think is linked to what you're saying, that sometimes it's about creating spaces for these types of conversations. And I think the key question is, are we creating those spaces? I mean, as peer educators, as leadership, wherever we are, or is it just conversations that we're having here and it ends here? So I mean, it would be interesting to hear that. Because I mean, just listening to what you're saying, the challenge that young men are faced on campus, You know, what are those? And do we have the space to be able to engage on those? You know, how do we unlearn certain things that you know, we've learned? How do we give space for, you know, positive engagement around gender-based violence? You know, so that someone mustn't have room and space to say, I'm shy. You know, how do we have, you know, positive spaces around, you know, the role of manhood? What does it mean to be a young man in this kind of South Africa that we live? Because sometimes we think we know what the problems are. We think we know what, you know, the challenges are. And, you know, being in elected positions, sometimes we assume that, you know, when you say, what are the problems on NS fast, you know, and so we tend to reduce it to just exactly that. Oh, no, it's allowances, we'll sort it out, or it's this or that. But I think that, you know, that space to open up around real conversations that are affecting, you know, young people on our campuses, in our classrooms, you know, the point you were making earlier that, you know, someone that you are in class with was so are we having those spaces? And if not, you know, what is it? So maybe as part of, you know, taking the conversation forward and you know, to think about that as maybe one act. And then you said something that's, I think, you know, it's so striking. Littering is not cute. That's what you said. And maybe that's another thing that we could, you know, take up, think about. You know, what is our classroom, lecture hall looking like, our res, our campus, and what responsibility do we take in the way in which, you know, it looks? You know, and once there's issues of cleanliness, then we can start thinking about, you know, a green campus, you know, and so on and so forth. So that's probably the second, I think, big thing that I'm hearing, you know, coming out of here for us to take in the simplest form. You know, sometimes, you know, having been a student leader myself, I think we tend to complicate what it would mean to take forward the legacy of Nelson Mandela. And I think it's, you know, it's both, yes, those complicated projects and concepts and theories, but it's also about the simple tasks that, you know, we can perform and mobilize others, you know, to be part of those so that you see change. And I mean, I would respond to something that I see, you know, having an impact immediately if we start, you know, cleaning our campus or, you know, having sessions such as this. I'm sorry to pick out VETs, you know, so when I scroll through social media, because that's why I saw VETs Junction, you know, where they open up on one of the days, they have conversations. And I'm sure it's happening all over, you know, in your residences, on campus on a Friday evening, you know, and I think that that's empowering. And you know, it's taking it back to that. Do we open up? Of course, not all of us have that voice that's so welcoming that when she asks you what's the problem, you'll open up. But I think it's important that those spaces, you know, we begin to open in the simplest of ways for people to speak and to speak out and to be listened to, and then have some professionals present. So not only is he a veteran, he's also psychologist. It's into sociology. Oh, sociology. Okay. Yeah.
But still getting their opinions and thoughts in as
Yes.
to the steps that we can take, right?
Sure.
A comment came through from Kaelo, and I think it relates very much to what you shared. Yes, Samtanda, what you shared. And it reads, not everyone thrives in a traditional university setting. buried in theoretical textbooks. And what makes CET colleges so special is that they take literacy and immediately pair it with practical, real-world skills. They give people actionable tools to actually do something with their knowledge, regardless of their academic background. And the real beauty of it, it builds a stronger, more inclusive community. So when you give everyone access to functional skills, suddenly every person has a role to play, a title to be proud of, and a way to contribute. It levels out the playing field and ensures no one gets left behind just because they're on a path that looks slightly different.
We must put that on the wall of every community college.
Very true.
I couldn't have said it better.
And I think it relates to your point, Siamtanda, of your path just looks slightly different. And so, again, coming to your point of, even though it looks slightly different, there's so many opportunities available to you. Grab them with both hands and run with it. But then it also comes back to my point of, when you're grabbing it with both hands, are you doing what you're supposed to do even when no one is looking? You might have the opportunity to get into university, to the CET college, or of course the different programs, but when you're alone, you're not actually practicing the skills that is being given to you, you know? And I want to hear your thoughts, because I haven't heard your voice, the lady in pink. I want to hear some of your thoughts around that, again, that aspect of integrity, and if it's being valued, if from your perspective, if the youth are valuing it.
All right. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So, as a young educator, right? I'm a young educator, but before that, I'm a human being. So, I need to have a sense of humanity and valuing other people's skills. So, having an integrity is going to be like this. In schools, right, we have theoretical work. However, some learners learn the best through practical work, through visual representation. So you have to integrate those kind of lesson representation to the classroom. However, okay, I'm gonna mention this. However, the Minister of Education, right, they want I'm so sorry. Okay, the basic.
You should warn me.
But
You're here.
She said, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. It was your warning.
Okay.
But yes, please continue.
So in basic of education, right, most things need to be written. However, those written things may not apply in real life situation. So learners need to acquire practical skills that will help them like to solve like real problems. For example, even if like I'm a science, math, or life skill educator, I do take part in software development programs where I teach young people about how to use computers, how to gain those skills, right? Also, even if math and science education is important, but we also need to value life skill education. So those values, they need to be in those learners while they're still young. There was a quote that says, education can empower young minds. So that quote, you look at young people, they have potential, they have high potential, right? However, at a young early age, they are being thrown into big concepts that they cannot really
Process,
they cannot really process. So I play my role as doing something whereby I'm not seen. So I integrate practical work, even though you need resources, right? But then I try to find everything to research for resources in YouTube. How can I integrate practical work in education? Yes. Thank you.
And I think that hands-on approach also kind of reinforces the learning, because once you're doing what we are reading about, it almost stays longer with you.
Yes.
And again, no one is looking at you while you're doing it, and that's you practicing that value that Mandela holds dear of integrity. I want to wrap things up with Our Lady, the only voice I haven't heard, better save the best for last. And I want to ask you, from your point of view and from your perspective, how can we encourage that integrity amongst the youth? What steps can be taken for us to encourage our fellow friends to be like, even though no one's watching, stand up to, of course, our point from the gentleman of stand up and take the steps. Don't be the coward.
So I'm a peer educator in UNISA. So what I do, I help students and try to find out what issues that they're having, like gender-based violence. I help them with giving them information about HIV and promoting such campaigns. So I would have appreciated if we would push these conversations in our communities, not just have them in universities and colleges. I would love for the government to involve the NGOs, maybe the churches, and get everyone involved, because I see a lot of people are dying in silence. I feel like these conversations should be held also in our communities.
Okay, I like that. I think your final point there links almost all three of the topics we spoke about today: active citizenship, leadership without the title, and the small steps that create that big change. Because imagine just having this small conversation in a community where everybody has access to it, the change that it would lead to, but also the initiative you would take to take that conversation out of rooms like this and into spaces like that. Minister, to wrap things up, I want to hear from you. You've been in leadership almost all your life. You've taken so many different steps, and I want to hear from you how active citizenship, leadership without the title, and also those small steps leading to that big change has contributed towards your leadership growth. How was it? Was it easy? What were some of the challenges you faced? And I'm pretty sure you can give us a whole dissertation on this. But just the key moments where you had to lead without the title, or you had to really, your integrity was tested, or this was one of the moments that stuck with you where you practiced that active citizenship.
Yeah, that's a difficult question, but I think the important lesson is, firstly, what do you do when people are not watching? So that's integrity. I think someone spoke about that. But also, what is it that is much about office? I think you asked the question, what's leadership? What leadership initiative are we taking without office? So but also what becomes the influence of office? Whether you're in the SRC or you're a peer educator, once it has some form of title, it has a responsibility. It's prone to abuse, but it's also prone to effect changes. So how do we use that? And I think more importantly, would you still be of service even without a title? Because I think sometimes we tend to pursue office and titles and forget that all of those also comes with the responsibility of service, and I think we need to take it back to that. And then maybe finally, the whole question of instant gratification. Someone spoke about that quite passionately. And I think that's important. Sometimes, so what happens, and I know a lot of people have spoken about this, even outside of this room, that we tend to see the results on social media, whether we see someone in their PhD gown or, someone in their, six-pack, showing off, or someone in their, we're speaking as adults.
Yes, as adults.
but we then tend to want, shortcuts towards all of those goals.
Yeah.
Let me there was this big thing that everybody was talking about, where this lady used ChatGPT to create a picture of her graduating PhD or something like that, when she didn't actually end the title.
Yeah.
You know, but what is it? You're doing it for vibes and for likes. But you haven't gone in, you haven't put in that effort.
Yeah.
You haven't worked for this. And you know, that instant gratification and the desire for validation by people you don't even know, you know, who don't even care. They're just passing by, they're like, oh, let me like, or let me not like, you know, or let me write something. So that's the fourth thing that I think that we have to put in the work. You know, we have to develop that passion of service, of you know, putting in the hour if we want to celebrate the results. You know, if it's just for vibes and for show offs, then there's no value in it. You know, it's just
Thank you so much for that. I think our conversation today could be continued on and on. I think the time that's dedicated is just not enough. There's so many also side routes that also need to be explored within themselves, and nothing functions within a silo. We see how GBV interconnects with our passions and our responsibilities for active citizenship, which is intertwined itself with the leading, with also showcases the small steps that we take within our small leadership positions that creates that big change. But I think the conversation today brought about the awareness of what it's meant to do. I think having the conversation and letting people know that this is here, highlighting it, is the start. And yes, so we will definitely get to the action part. But as she pointed out, and many people have pointed out, the conversation of pointing it out of, guys, here's a problem here, as well as this one, and it also connects with this, is a start. I think one thing we can take into mind and conclude from this conversation is nation building requires all of us to contribute 100, not 50-50. It's 100% from all of us. And I think conversations like this lead to that. We're going to end our conversation here, but definitely continue it online. Just don't forget that hashtag. It's hashtag BackChat, hashtag Legacy Lives Through Me. We will be doing something special, however, today, because we had some students that completed civic as well as soft skills program. And so we're going to be handing out certificates to them, and the minister is going to be assisting out with that. Let's give them a round of applause already. That is quite the achievement. Here he is. I think the minister can come through here, and then we'll go over to that side. Hawabua. Hawabua. No, bring the mic. Yes.
Let me speak on the mic.
Yes.
It's because you said sweet.
Yes.
Yeah, come on. Yo,
And you are so bright. How did I miss you? Imagine.
Hi, kibutle, nalo.
Oh, Gabonish, guys.
You know, I met this other guy serving as secretary at campus, and I'll share this here. He once said to me, "You see, as us leaders here, we are popcorns. You see the corn there, and God is the oil. And when you have the oil and the heat from God, when you put that popcorn, it will pop, but they won't pop at the same time. And so with this, to me, okay, I'm the last one, and I'm, yeah. So with saying this is that youth out there, we may not pop at the same time. Your time is coming. You just have to take the step, because even with leadership is not about title. Because leadership, we are all leaders here. I may be a former deputy secretary at Ecole University of College, but I may not lead the same as you guys. So it takes heart for a person to lead, respect, dignity, responsibility, equity, equality, and we learn a lot from Mandela, and I'll end there. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. And I don't know how I jumped to you, but thank you so much. And I think Kibutle, it's shy
Why
now.
would you only voice?
Yeah,
Why
get
would-
voice. Minister, we're gonna have you come over this side and then do the certificates or from that side? Okay, from that side, and then they're gonna go through that way. Okay, awesome. She's just bringing, okay, to assist with.
Yeah, so when Minister calls out your name, you walk to him and I'll call out the names.
Okay.
I think Minister, you want to call out the names? Okay. It's fine to say, go ahead.
I think your camera is this side. He was, yes.
Asia, Katika. I know.
Yeah, you can actually do bula bot.
I know. Kosele wanyindonisa sokutala madiba. It was really beneficial because I got to see through what I thought I knew, but I didn't actually know, because it was detailing through how to be democratic, how to understand that voting it is important. It is very important because as youth, we do need to vote. We do need to know who's leading us. We do need to know our government, and we do need to know that where are the roots coming from? Because as of 2026, marks 32 years since 1994, is it 27 April? So it's that long that we've been democratically free, and it is very, very beautiful. Swatsakisa.
Okay, congratulations.
Kisa bottle. I think it's this camera. Yeah, Nash, just go over that side, yes, yeah. And go over to this one, yeah. You have to use the mic. Hazel? Lucia. Wait. Did we get it properly? No, go back, yeah. The lady in pink.
Charmain, Mudau. Teddy Makuba.
Our adult. Yeah. Yeah. so you must read books for us, ne? I think we'll sleep better. Ah, okay. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we're done. Congratulations.
Let me just assist you. Awesome. And there's your seat.
Okay.
Great stuff. Awesomeness. That was. Yes, I want to hand over to you, Minister, to wrap it up.
Oh, we're done. Okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
Good. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. This was quite the insightful conversation. I think we can continue on right upstairs to grab something to drink and as well as something to eat. And once again, let's continue the conversation online. Hashtag BackChat. Hashtag Legacy Lives Through Me. Awesome.
They don't like it. I invited them.
Go down. Yeah. Charmain, certificate sounds good. Do you want with or without the certificates?
These are the two that don't come, right?
Oh, without the certificate, okay? You can give yours to me, and then I'll hold it. Yeah.
We don't have them. We don't have them.
Okay. As I say with my grade twos, smile, 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 smile. Yes, good. Smile, yes, smile, smile, yes, yay! Great stuff. Teddy, somewhere here. Okay. Tabo, here's yours.
We're fasting.
You're fasting. Is this yours, my babes?